Hey everyone, it is Thursday. Welcome to the final week of Escape the Readathon. Let's see, where did we start off? We finished the game prompt that we were on, so I didn't even start Echo Wife, which kind of luckily I didn't even start Echo Wife. So we're on to a different building, and for that I had picked Inferno by Catherine Cho. This is a nonfiction. This was one of my 5-star predictions for the year, so I'm really excited to read this. It's a memoir about a woman who suffered through postpartum psychosis, and it's a little different than I expected. She's actually in a psychiatric ward, and I'm about halfway through it right now. It's pretty short. It's interesting so far. It's like alternates between her time in the present in the psychiatric ward and her past. She is Korean. Her parents were Korean immigrants, so it talks about her culture, which is really interesting, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So if I get done with this, I think I might move on to Echo Wife again, because like I said, I'm excited to read that. I've enjoyed Sarah Gailey's books prior to that, so I feel like that could also fit for the building we're reading towards, if I even get to that before the building's unlocked. I haven't checked that recently. My phone's in the other room. But I think that's my check-in for today. I've had kind of a busy day. Just driving around all over the fucking place. My daughter had they do this quarterly where they have an award ceremony for honor roll, attendance, things like that, which is really nice, but oh my god, it takes so long. I know I'm very complainy, but it takes forever. It's like a hour-long thing, which is nice, and I think it does motivate the children and, shows an appreciation for their hard work and shit. And then, I'm having this issue, like I've talked about in my previous vlogs, with my dog's paws, and she's not licking them so much, but she's also having some stomach issues, and I think it might be allergies. I don't know if it's related to her food, like the paw thing, but I'm pretty sure that the stomach thing is, because she does not eat anything because she's got such a sensitive stomach. She can't eat any food with chicken in it, which isn't really uncommon, I've read. So I don't know why it's so hard to, or not that it's really hard, but why aren't there more foods out there that are not chicken-based foods, So there are foods out there, but they're not always, there aren't very many, and they're not always fucking in stock because there aren't very many. And it's tough, especially because it's she has to eat puppy food too, because she's a puppy, and that limits it even more. And so now it's I think that the food she's eating is weird, and I'm suspicious because there was a point a few months ago where that food was out of stock. And it was after that, when that food was in stock again, now all of a sudden she's having these stomach issues. So I'm wondering, that food was out of stock. Was there a shortage in some of the ingredients? Did they switch the formula? And now she's having these stomach issues. So I bought another food. So when that happened, when that shortage happened, we were feeding her something else that is a little more expensive, which also sucks because it's chicken food is much cheaper. Right now she eats something with lamb in it. And so now I'm trying to switch back to that other food, but it's I went somewhere, they didn't have a big bag of it, and a 6-pound bag was $20, and it's oh good, that will last my dog 1 week. And so then I went to another pet store, and they had a sensitive stomach one, which I was maybe, but that's even more expensive. So it's like, well, if I can just feed her like the regular one that's cheaper and alleviate the stomach issue, like maybe if I need that stomach food, the sensitive stomach food down the road, that's a good option. And then I had to go to a third store and finally they had it in stock. Really, I should have called these places, but it was like online. They said they had it in stock, but so I figured that they would. Oh my God, it was just driving all fucking over the place. Then I had just household chores to do, so I did get some reading in, and I will be able to read tonight. I really do anticipate being able to finish Inferno tonight. Some of it is broken down into shorter pages. Oh no, my bookmark. So it's not all like page to page. Some of the, it's almost like the chapters, kind of, but they're not really labeled as chapters, so I don't know. Anyway, man, I really thought like my first month out of school would be less crazy, but I think maybe because, you know, my kiddo is still in school until the end of the month. Maybe after that it won't feel so crazy. I really hope this issue with my dog is just allergies, and then hopefully that there is a really easy solution, and maybe switching her food will help with her paws too, if that's what it is. I don't fucking know. It does seem like, I mean, the thing with her paws didn't happen immediately after switching her food, I don't think, but kind of shortly after. So I don't know. Anyway, that's my check-in for Thursday, the beginning of the last week of Escape the Readathon. What else? I think that's all I have to tell you. I will see you later. Hello, hello, hello. It's Friday. Hello. I'm here. I'm here today. Starting the intro to my normal videos, which is not what I'm here to do. I'm here to just check in. It's probably gonna be a short one today because all I have to tell you about is really Inferno by Catherine Cho, which I finished last night. I really liked this. This is a nonfiction about a woman, Catherine, who had a bout of postpartum psychosis, which is different than postpartum depression. Really interesting, especially I think because hers was like later onset than normal. Her son was almost 3 months old when this happened, and they think it was just triggered by like stress and lack of sleep, like later on, you know, than typically when this happens, which is, I think, normally like when the baby's, you know, first born. And so that was kind of interesting, and I was right, her culture does play into this, which is really, really interesting. She is Korean. Her and her husband are both Korean, so you get, you know, snippets of her family, her husband's family, traditions that they have, things like that. One thing I will say is I wish, this is about her story, but I wish that there would have been more facts about postpartum psychosis in general, like statistics, things like that, which there weren't any that I really caught. I mean, there were some things, but like not really many that I caught. But I will say this was really interesting, especially because some of the things she remembers about her psychosis when she was having this episode early on was just really interesting and strange, like the things her brain was doing. So yes, highly recommend this nonfiction, this memoir. Very interesting. So sad, and I'm pretty certain that, like postpartum depression, there is like a rate of reoccurrence if you have another pregnancy. So she doesn't talk about whether or not she had more children. I don't know if that's like a factor in that. It's not my business, but I'm just a little bit curious about that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just really interesting and sad. And yeah, I just wonder also, like, because this was onset late in a late onset episode, could it have been, and like the events surrounding it, could it have been prevented if the events surrounding it had not happened? I wonder. And another thing I found really interesting is that her and her husband lived in the UK. They were both from the United States, but had been living in the UK and had traveled to the United States to visit their families. And the difference between her care in the US and then her care after she was able to go back to the UK, because this episode happened when she was in the US, it's like, holy shit, I cannot believe, like, what the fuck? That part floored me. Talking about how, like, I mean, she was separated from her child in the US. In the UK, they would not have done that. Just like the difference in the drugs. The fact that she had a team that would go to her house and check on her in the UK every day. Just to be like, it's okay. Like, how are you doing? It will be okay. Like, just that. Incredible. I can't imagine getting care like that here. It makes me sick, honestly. Makes me sick. And just the fact that with this, a lot of the time, there is this feeling of this separation now between the mother and the child. Like, she did not recognize her baby. She did not even have, like, the, you know, like this motherly instinct that she had before, where she was like, is he okay? How is he doing? That was just like completely gone. And you have to wonder, would that have been prevented if, you know, after the initial psychosis was gone, would that have been prevented if she had been staying in a ward with them? Also, she would have been in a separate, like, ward with babies and mothers, and not in a, like, mental ward, which she was in the US. So I don't know. I find that all really interesting and very sad the way our mental health system in the United States works. So anyway, I started The Echo Wife. I'm only about 30 pages into it. Intriguing so far. Lots of sciencey kind of medical stuff as well. This is about a woman named Evelyn who is a scientist, and she has developed something. They haven't really explained it yet, and I'm not sure if she is like the first person to clone a being, or if she has just been really a pioneer in the field or something, but she is working with clones, and she just won an award. And you find out that her husband is marrying a being who is a clone of her. And you're like, oh, what? How did this happen? So I have no idea, but I am very intrigued, and I would definitely like to find out. So we're still in the same building, but we've read quite a few books towards this. So I keep checking back. I'm like, we've opened it, right? We've opened it. We have it. I've been looking. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna have to keep reading, I guess. I was a little bit reluctant to start something, and then I was like, should I start something smaller? But I'm just gonna pick this book. That's it. And then maybe if I finish this and we still haven't opened the building, maybe then I'll look for something like a novella that will fit this, and see what goes down if we haven't opened the building yet. But that is my Friday. I am going... Oh, is that a really big... I can't tell if that spider's in my window. There is a very large spider, and I can't tell if that is in my window or if that is in the bush that is pressed up against my window, but that is a big fucking spider. Oh. It's a creepy one. Anyway, oh, it's moving. Anyway, I do have some plans this afternoon. Now I can't see it, and that makes me even more worried. I do have some plans this afternoon, so I don't know how much reading I'm gonna get done. This afternoon, at least, when I have, like, less shit to do. But some people from my husband's shop at work are going to smoke some meat for lunch, so I'm gonna drive over there and eat some smoked meat, which will be exciting. They always do cool stuff like that with each other. It's really nice. Zach's been there for a long time now, so he's been there for I don't know, since we bought our house, since he turned out we bought our house, probably like 8 years. So yeah, and they just love to do these little things together. Like sometimes they do, or in the past they've done crawfish boils a few times. We used to do it like once a year, but I don't think we did it this year. So we usually did it in like April, so we didn't do it this time, which I understand. Like, the guy who does all that, the guy who puts that together, like, that's fucking expensive, I'm sure. Even though the shop's pretty small, it's like probably like 20 people, but 20 people and whoever they bring with, you know, that's crazy. But we also do like, we also deep fry turkeys there before Thanksgiving every year, stuff like that. So it's fun. Yeah, go to some other kids' birthday parties, things like that. So I'm gonna do that. But I don't get eaten by this big spider. I will maybe talk to you tomorrow. I promised, oh God, I've been promising my daughter that I'll take her to the mall for like 3 weeks, but our weekends have been busy. And then I was like, listen, if you wait till Memorial Day, you'll probably be able to get more bang for your buck. So she's been not very patiently waiting, but she's been waiting. So I think I'm gonna take her tomorrow. If I have time, I will check in. If not, see you later. Oh, good morning. Welcome to my terrible, scary, frightening lighting over here. Oh, can you see my eyeballs even? It is 5:30 in the morning. And normally I would not be filming this early, except for that went to the gym all fucking week, all weekend, just like normal. There's no sign up that says anything different about Memorial Day. It's Monday, by the way. So Zach and I go at our normal time on Monday, Memorial Day. And we get there, there's this really sweet lady, older lady, who's there every day. She reads a newspaper on the elliptical, which I think is so cute and sweet. And she, like the parking lot is empty, and I'm like, holy shit, that's awesome. Like, nobody's here? Cool. But she opens up the door and she's like, they don't open until 6. I'm like, oh. She's like, I'm just gonna stay here and tell people. She's like, I've been telling people, and it's like, oh. So she's just gonna stay here until 6 and let everybody know. Like, what a sweet little darling. But there is no, oh my God. It is just so fucking typical of my gym, honestly. I don't fucking, if there was like another one in a close proximity, I'm gonna fucking be going here, if I'm being honest. I fucking don't love it. But also, I don't want to drive more than 10 minutes, you know? Especially at fucking 4 in the morning. I mean, not that early. 5 in the morning, you know? I'm eating a gas station muffin of dubious origins. And let me grab the book that I just finished last night. So I did not read a ton this weekend, but I did finish The Echo Wife. I had a really nice, relaxing weekend. I watched like 3 movies last night. I've not been watching a lot of movies lately, so that was really nice to just fucking, Zach and I watched, Zach and I watched Dune Part 2. Then I watched this weird movie called Good Boy, which is about a man who has somebody living with him who dresses up in a dog costume 24/7. And then I watched Pearl, since that's finally streaming somewhere now. And I have to say, I like Pearl way more than I liked X. I was like in the minority, I think, of people who thought X was just like really fine. But I also don't know if I felt like Pearl really explained the origins of the Pearl in X that well. But also it's been years since I saw X, so maybe I'm missing something. Anyway, I did finish The Echo Wife last night, and I really liked this. I thought this was really good. It's about this woman, Evelyn. She's a scientist. She is working on cloning, making like the first clones, and she finds out that her husband has made a clone of her. Hi, Fang. You wanna get in here? And how appropriate of Fangy to join us. You're gonna smell my muffin lips, because if I were to clone anyone, it would definitely be Fang Fang. It's a little love of my life. A little fat Fangy. Thank you, Fangy. But it's kind of insidious, because it's like he's made this version of her that's like everything she's not. The clone might need some help disposing of his body. So that is not a spoiler. It says it in the synopsis. And I thought it was really good. On par with the rest of Sarah Gailey's stuff that I've read. And now I need to pick another book, which might be hard because I really have to think about why some of these books ended up on my shelf. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with Psychic Teenage Bloodbath by Carl John Lee. This is an extreme horror novel. It's about a teenage girl who is in a coma. She can use telepathy, something like that. I don't know. It sounds weird. I saw this cover on social media and I was like, have to have it. Don't know much about it though, so I guess I'll find out. It's about 200 pages long. So I think that is it for now, and I'll check back in later. Hello! Hello! It is Tuesday night. I really thought I would check in with you again on Monday, but I didn't, because as you can see, I colored my hair. It really needed it, and boy, that process takes forever. And I'm not one of those people who is going to film it because I look like a crazy monster when I do it. So I read, my plans to read Psychic Teenage Bloodbath fell through. We finished I can't remember, what was I planning on reading that for? I can't remember if it was for a game prompt or a building, but whatever I was planning it for, we finished that up. So I picked up The Chain by Adrian McKinty, which is a thriller about a kidnapping, not child, but ends up being children kidnapping ring, where it's like this mom, this girl gets kidnapped, and her mom gets this call, and it's like, you have to kidnap a child, and then if the parents of that child successfully kidnap a child, then your daughter will be released. It's like this chain. So it was really interesting, very entertaining, a little bit over the top. Some of the dialogue and the writing, a little almost bordering like soap opera-y at times, but I did enjoy it. At least, like the entertainment factor high on this. We did unlock the building that we're on, and now it's like a race to the finish, right? And one team has gotten enough tickets to make it to the end, but they haven't won yet. So it's like they could potentially get pulled back into the game or fucking whatever. So we're still reading, we're still hoping. I'm gonna pick up some graphic novels and shit like that, like short things that I can hopefully read quickly. So I'm picking up Revival by Tim Seeley and Mike Norton. This fulfills one of the game prompts. Well, it actually really could fulfill, I think, more than maybe like 2 if I needed it to. I mean, it can't count towards more than 1, but it's like I could put it towards more than 1. You know what I mean? No, that's not what I mean. I could put it towards the prompt that needs it. if that sounds better. If that makes more sense. So this is about this small like Wisconsin town or township, maybe. It's not just the town, it's like maybe the county, where this strange event happened where some dead people came back to life, and they call them revivers, and they're not exactly zombies because they're, as far as I can tell, not eating human flesh, but some of them are acting very normally, but some of them also are not. And so I'm really kind of in the middle of this so far. I only have 1 volume, which is kind of a bummer, and kind of a thing about my collecting graphic novels that I've noticed is that I will read a volume and be like, ooh, I like that, and then it takes me forever to collect more of them, you know, because I like to buy used, and it's like, if I don't find a used copy of number 2, like how long is it going to take me to do that? Which I need to like break myself of that habit. Like, it's good to buy used books, but like sometimes that doesn't make sense in certain situations. So anyway, I think that's all I have to tell you about for Tuesday. I need to go through some of my graphic novels and see if any of them fit for other prompts. Hopefully I get a good chunk of, my reading this week, the last probably like 2 weeks, I haven't had a lot of time to like really sit down and read. I felt a little about my reading, you know. I felt not exactly slumpy, but I can tell that I really pushed myself a lot in the first part of the month, you know, and I'm really kind of reaping the negative consequences of doing that in this latter part of the month. So hopefully I can recover a little bit in June before my birthday in July, where I only have 10 books, I believe, until I'm done with the Read What You Want Challenge 2, which is totally attainable and really great. Like, if I read graphic novels for the rest of the month, I could do that. Maybe I couldn't do that by the end of the month. How many more days do I have? It's the 28th. I really have like, realistically, 3 more days of the month, so probably not. But I could definitely finish that up in June. Anyway, okay, that's it. Goodbye. Good morning. Good morning. It's Wednesday morning. I just got back from the gym. It's just about 7. Baron's chewing on a shoe. He does that. He chews on shoes. I don't have that problem with my dog. I have that problem with my cat. He's a very bad cat. So last night I finished Revival for a game prompt, and I went through my unread graphic novels, and I found 2 others that will fit that same game prompt. This one has to do with the setting, so it looks like it's one in my crew, in film crew, that is going to be one that doesn't have as many submissions, which makes sense because for novels, with the setting, it's not always as clear, right? Unless the book like flat out tells you this is the setting And novels don't always do that. However, with graphic novels, it is very clear because you can fucking flip through it and see what the setting is. So I've got here Outcast. This is by the dude, I'm pretty sure, who did, yeah, The Walking Dead. So I read quite a few of The Walking Dead, maybe like 10 of them. I like them okay, but not enough to like keep going with the series. I think Robert Kirkman is his name. I can't remember. And then I also have one that's a little bit thicker. This is The Black Monday Murders. And I really don't know what this is about. It looks weird. So I've got those two. And then I'm thinking, once I've read those, I think I could probably read those both today. I mean, they're graphic novels. And I do have some chores that some house chores I would like to get to today. Actually, I need to edit my my vlog from week 3. Oops, I really thought I was gonna get that done days ago, and I didn't. So maybe read one graphic novel, edit my thing, read the other graphic novel, and then see where I'm at. I'm thinking too, if I check back after reading these two, and there still aren't very many submissions, I'm thinking that also Goosebumps books, I have like some Goosebumps books that would fit this specific game prompt as well if we're behind. And those are, you know, easy to read as well. Might even take me just as much time as a graphic novel would, because I do like to look at the artwork in a graphic novel. I don't, you know, speed through them super quickly. I do have some options, and that's if when I'm done with these two I check back and that one still is lagging behind on submission. So I think I'm gonna do some shit today and hopefully check back here. I'm so bad with that, I know. Sometimes I do. I think I've done that one time. Maybe. And I think that's all I have to say for now. So, I'll be checking back in with you hopefully later, okay? Hey pals, I'm checking in again. It's still Wednesday. I just got a little video editing done. I'm not quite done with my week 3 vlog, but I think I've only got like one more section to edit, but it's a long section. It's a long section. However, I did read. I've been very productive this morning. I did read The Haunted Mask. I decided to sneak that in before I read another graphic novel, so this counts for the prompt, for the setting. This is such a good Goosebumps. Oh my god. I don't remember if I ever read this one as a kid, but I did. This is like one of the best Goosebumps episodes for sure. Carly Beth. So this is about Carly Beth, who is a little bit of a scaredy cat, and she has some friends who are like really fucking mean to her, honestly. And for Halloween this year, she wants to kind of maybe do a little bit of a prank on them, and instead of dressing up in her normal like kind of funny cute costume, she sees that a new costume shop has opened in town, and she goes in and finds this super creepy mask, and she's like, this is perfect, I'm going to scare the piss out of everyone. And when she puts this mask on, it's almost like she has an alter ego now, almost. And then she finds that maybe she can't take the mask off. It's so good. And the end is so excellent. This is just like a top tier Goosebumps book, honestly, I think. I think this is this one goes up there with my favorites for sure. I'm really glad that I picked that up. Is that it for right now? I think actually I just wanted to tell you that I read that Goosebumps book. And then, yeah, I'm gonna finish editing. Need to let my dog out and get back to editing. Hopefully remember to eat some lunch in there. I'm really bad about that. Even with my meal prep stuff that I just have to fucking microwave. It's like, honestly, I love food. But also there are times where I feel like eating is the bane of my existence and I wish I just had like intravenous, like I don't want to have to do it. I like tasting food, but I don't want to have to eat to sustain myself and like make myself not feel like shit. You know what I mean? When I don't want to have to do it, I don't want to have to do it. So that's my thing for today. Why does my body have to be fed? I don't like it sometimes. It's really annoying and inconvenient sometimes. Thank you. I'll hopefully check in once I've got my editing done, and hopefully I'll have time to read another graphic novel and then check in again after I've read a graphic novel. If I haven't read a graphic novel, there's no point in me fucking checking in, so I don't know why I'd come to tell you I finished editing my video. That would be really dumb. So if I read one of those today and stuff like that, I'll come and tell you about it. Okay? Okay. Let's check it out. Finished Outcast Volume 1. Super excellent. It's about the small town where all these strange possessions are happening. There's like a pastor who's kind of like morally gray, and a man who's had all these, who's done all these bad things in his past, but like, has he really done them, kind of a thing, and he might be the key to like helping all these possessed people. And I really fucking liked this. This was great. And another one where it's like, I need to pick up the next volume of this ASAP so I can continue the series. Looking at our totals in our team thing for our game prompts, I think I have to pick up something other than that other graphic novel I was planning on. So I'm not really sure. I think actually I might wait till tomorrow to see what the totals are, because I don't think I'm gonna read anything else tonight. I think that's it for me. I read 2 books today, and I think the rest of my free time is going to be spent playing Fallout 3, since what I've been doing lately. I spent a lot of time editing a video today, and my brain just kind of wants to like not do shit. So I think that's it. And I've got 2 cats here. You can't see them. I could pick Fangy up probably. I mean, I can pick her up. It's just like, she's probably gonna be mildly upset. Oh, Fangy. Oh, she gave me a little kiss. 1 kiss. Even though I picked her up out of her comfy spot. So me and Fangy just gonna do hood rat shit for the rest of the night. Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye. Say bye, Fangy. Bye. Good morning. Good morning. Kind of. Fucking. Oh, I'm tired. I did not sleep very well last night. It's Thursday. It's my baby's last day of 5th grade, which is so crazy. Like, I'm just thinking about when I was in 5th grade. And like going from 5th to 6th grade was like, that was a big thing. She's not going to be in middle school next year, which kind of makes me happy. Her school goes to 6th grade, her elementary school, so I feel like we can like push her maturing down a little bit. Like her, not her maturing, but like her, you know, I just feel like a lot of kids these days, oh my god, I feel so fucking old and like crotchety, but there's just a lot of shit kids get into these days, you know, and I feel like if I can stave some of that off, you know, like if she's not hanging out with 13-year-olds for like 1 more year, that would be really great. So I'm kind of grateful that her school goes to 6th grade. And so then the year after next, she'll be in junior high. My next book is going to be Husk by Rachel Autumn Deering. This is actually a book that my brother bought me. So nice. I picked this because of the title of this. So I tried to find something that was short. This is like 86 pages. And I'm going to sit down for a little bit, read, and then I will check back in with you and let you know how it is so far, what it's about a little bit, and yeah, so see you in a few. Hey friends. Hello. I just set up my camera so I could pretend like you caught me reading. How cute is that? So I just read about 40 pages in Husk. So I made it almost halfway already, which is kind of crazy. This is about a young man named Kevin who is coming back from Afghanistan. He's been in the military, he's seen some shit, and now he's moving into the house that he had been living in with his grandparents, who are now both deceased. And he's got some trauma, you know, relating to his past. And that's about all I know. So there has been some really just character development at this point in the book, but good writing so far. A part that I want to highlight, even if I end up liking the book. The way I do things is first I tab. If I find a passage I like, first I tab it, because I might like the passage, but I don't want to highlight it necessarily unless I decide I'm going to keep the book, right? So first I tab it, and then once I finish the book, if I decide that I want to keep the book, then I'll go back and also highlight it. So there was this part where he is seeing the VA doctor, and he's talking about how they want to cut back his allotment of painkillers, and he's like, you know, I've been a good person my whole life, I've never done drugs, the VA is the one who wanted to put me on these painkillers, and now they're telling me, well, they're questioning my character, acting like I'm some sort of drug fiend, when they're the ones who told me that I should be taking these in the first place. The thing is that they're taking away his disability payments if he doesn't comply with them, right? So he says, messing with a man's finances is one thing, but trying to spoil his character is a whole other kind of meanness. They took all the good parts of me they wanted, my loyalty, my honor, my bravery. They took all that out of me and used it for their own. They took my best friend, they took my humanity, they used me up, they shipped me back here and turned me into some kind of damn zombie. So I thought that was really poignant. They took all the good parts of me they wanted, my loyalty, my honor, my bravery. They took all that out of me and used it for their own. And you know what? I obviously did not serve at all, but I feel like, I mean, at least my experience with like my family members and my friends who served in the military, I think some of them can relate to that. It's kind of crazy. My uncle really pushed me really hard to join the service when I was done with high school, and I was like, I can see what that did to you. Like, why would I feel like you're not, I'm sorry, but I feel like you're not a great advocate for this. I love my uncle very much, but he's still, you know, he's got problems. And Zach's family too, you know, family members, and one of our close friends, he was also in the Air Force, and he can't tell us about things. Like he is not supposed to tell us about certain things that he did while he was serving, and that freaks me the fuck out, right? That is a burden I don't want to have. So I'm enjoying this so far. I'm very curious how this will wrap up, especially since I'm halfway through, and plot-wise, not a lot has happened yet. He's like just getting back to this house that he's going to live in. This is Bugula. I sleep with this every night. It also makes a very good reading pillow, especially because my right wrist is just really fucky with like using the computer, weightlifting, video game playing, crocheting, all that shit. It's just like, ugh, it hurts all the time. And so it definitely needs like, sometimes it just needs support when I'm reading and shit like that. It's a good support system. A nice firm bug to rest my wrist on. Anyway, I really need to clean up my kitchen. Well, I will talk to you later. Goodbye. Oh, my hair. It's a mess. What have I been doing? Nothing. I've literally been doing nothing. I did finish Husk, however, so I wanted to check back in with you guys about that. I'm feeling a little bit on the fence about this. I think it was very well written, great like characterization, but I think it was much more character focused than I expected going in. It didn't really quite hit it. It was like, I think this would have benefited from being a little bit longer because there was so much character development that the back end of it where like all the shit was supposed to happen was like so small, and it just happened within like a couple pages, and it was like, what? So I really think that this would have benefited from being drawn out a little bit longer. And I feel like that is really such a bummer because I was really, really enjoying this book up until that point. Like, I really honestly thought, oh, is there like a sequel to this? Like, is there a novella sequel? Until I got to the end and I was like, oh, there is not. How could that be? The character work in this, especially for such a short amount of time that you're spending here, was really excellent. But it left me with a lot of questions I didn't want to be left with, such as what was going on here. I don't know if I really understand, but the character work was so good. So yeah. Anyway, I think next I'm going to pick up a Goosebumps book, see if I can get one on audio and listen to that while I do the dishes and mop my kitchen, because I need to do that. I have little dirty puppy footprints in my kitchen. Baron, please, we're on camera, Baron. This is a family channel. It's not, but I don't think anyone wants to see a butthole here. Anyway, so this is probably my last check-in for today. Did I do more than one? Yes, I did. This is my third check-in today. So tomorrow is the last day of the readathon, and tomorrow I do have a little bit of a busy day. My oldest nieces are graduating from junior high, so we're gonna go to their graduation ceremony, and then we're gonna go to one of my very favorite places to eat, this little ice cream and sandwich shop called Rosemary's. They have sandwiches and ice cream. And they have this sandwich there that is like, so, it sounds so gross. It's like an olive sandwich, and it's basically like a chopped salad sandwich. So it's basically just olives and mayonnaise, black olives and mayonnaise, which sounds disgusting. And it probably is disgusting to 90% of the population, but it's my favorite sandwich there. And I'm really looking forward to getting that because I haven't eaten there in a long time. And they have really good chili. So I'm probably gonna have chili and an olive sandwich. And then I'll probably eat some of my child's ice cream sundae that she'll inevitably get. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's like so crazy that they're graduating, that they're gonna be in high school next year. When I met Zach, when I moved in with Zach, they were like a year and a half old. So that's really wild that they're going into high school now. He used to, when I first started talking to him, he would call them his babies, and I had to be like, okay, listen, are these your children? Yeah, he really, he still loves them, obviously, but he really loved them. He spent a lot of time with them when they were little. So, yeah, they're just, I mean, I love all my nieces and nephews, of course, but yeah, it's really crazy. Really crazy that they're so old now. They're like literal fucking teenagers. And they used to just like run around in their diapers. I swear to God, it was just, you know, a couple years ago. They're closer to driving cars than they are. Oh my God. Stop. I'm gonna spiral right now. Okay, I need to go do shit. I will talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye. Oh, little baby Baron. Little baby boy. Hello. It is Friday night. It's 9 o'clock. Okay, so we don't know the results of anything yet, really, like, as far as who made it out. If the team who made it out got pulled back in, we don't know any of that till Sunday. I do know that film crew made a valiant effort. We were able to finally escape through the game that we were playing. It had 4 prompts. We had to get 2 to the correct number. We didn't know which one or which 2 were right. So there was a lot of reading involved. And let me tell you, I read 4 books for it. My last one that I finished was The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb by R.L. Stine, which was a pretty decent Goosebumps. It's about this boy Gabe who is on vacation in Egypt. His uncle, it seems like he still lives there, because he's an archaeologist, and it seems like he might still live there, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, his uncle's an archaeologist working in one of the pyramids, right? And they get kind of mixed up in what his uncle's doing. It was a good one. I didn't like it quite as much as A Haunted Mask, but it was a good one. Not one I remember reading when I was a kid. So I think new to me. I didn't get a ton of reading done today. That's okay. I've had quite a busy day. Like I said, I went to my niece's 8th grade graduation, which, let me tell you, was so fucking extra. I mean, like, we're all very proud of the children for making it through junior high. But man, this shit was like longer than my high school graduation. They had like all these special awards, like all this shit. And it was so fucking hot. I don't know why they didn't do it inside. It was like in the morning, but we live somewhere where it's 95 degrees in the morning in June. You know what I mean? And I was just like baking on these fucking bleachers for 2 hours waiting for them. It took an hour before they even started calling like the graduates for their diplomas. That's what they called them. They called them diplomas. Oh, it was just too much. But yeah, I mean, I was glad I got to be there for my nieces. Proud of them. But yeah, that shit was crazy. And then we went to this ice cream shop, and I got my weird olive sandwich and a bowl of chili, which was very fucking delicious. So it was a really nice day. Then I came home and Zach was like, do you want to go to the gym? We already went to the gym. So we went to the gym again and just walked on the treadmill. I've been watching this movie Baghead on Shudder, and I just like have not finished it. I've tried watching it like 3 times, and it's like I want to finish it. But also, walking on the treadmill, sometimes I watch movies, but it's like if I watch it for too long, I start to get kind of like seasick. So I could watch like maybe like 30 minutes before I have to turn it off. Anyway, that's my day. Treadmill. I walked so fucking much today, between like an hour on the treadmill, and then I had to park so far away from the school where the ceremony was at. It's crazy. I like got to like the intersection before I could like see the high school, and the lane I was in, it was like the light was green and nobody was moving, and I was like, I think this is where I need to turn off and find somewhere to park and walk, because I don't think I'm like moving any further. So yeah, we hoofed it. Good thing I was wearing comfy shoes. So yeah, I guess like because there's really like no conclusion tonight, that I will be making another entry to this like on Sunday when everything is announced. I will see you back then, I suppose. Go film crew. Proud of you guys. Proud of all of you. I can't fucking believe the amount of books people read. Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, the amount of books that we read just for this last game had to have been like between 500 and 600 for this last game, for this one game. So that is wild. In the last like 3 days, that means, you know, like 2.5, 3 days. So, whew, I don't really know. I don't know if we made it out. I don't know if the team got pulled back in. So like I said, I will check in with you guys on Sunday. So, see you then. Hello, welcome back to my update. The last installment of my Escape the Readathon vlogs. So the winner has been announced, the winning team, the team that has escaped. It was unfortunately not film crew. We have been locked inside the carnival for all of eternity. We did, like, very last minute complete the game that we were on. We were not stuck in the puppet show as puppets, marionettes for all of eternity, but we are locked in the carnival. And so we came in second place, but unfortunately that means that film crew is dissolved. We will not return as film crew next year because only the winning team gets to come back, which makes sense, like with the mechanics of and the storytelling of the game. Like if your team is locked inside, I mean in this case it's a carnival, but I think last year was a haunted house. If your team is locked inside this place, they can't return to another place, you know, so that makes sense. Unfortunately, we came in second place, so I don't know. What I will say is that this was really very fun. I read so much. I think that I'm going to definitely have to tone it down in June now. My brain feels a little bit fuzzy. It needs, I think, a reading break a little bit, or at least like I need to slow it down a little bit, especially if, you know, if you've watched my channel for a few years. In July, I like to kind of treat myself and, well, I don't know. This year has been a little bit different because I haven't been reading as much for videos for content I want to make. But in previous years, I've read to make content, you know what I mean? Which means that I don't always prioritize what I want to read. So in July, which is my birthday month, I set all my things aside and choose exactly what I want to read, which I will also be doing, I suppose, this July. But I definitely want to give myself a little bit of a break in June so that in July I'm ready to get back at it and read a lot of really fun shit that I'm excited for. So that is one thing, like, I read so much. I ended up reading 24 books for this readathon, which is fucking bananas. That is the most I've ever read in a month, ever. I think, if I'm guessing, I think probably the most I've read in a month is maybe like 18 books, and that's like, that is a lot still for me. 18 books is like, that is an insane reading month. So to exceed that by like 6 books, yeah, I definitely pushed myself. I read a lot of things that were not outside of my scope because these were all things that I picked off my shelves, which was really cool. I didn't have to find anything from the library or anything like that. I was able to find everything here in my own home library, which was very interesting and fun. You know, the prompts, even the ones that were like more specific, they were still, at least for me, so, but that's, you know, something where it's like, I just have a lot of books that I haven't read yet. So for me, at least, that worked out just fine. I will definitely be participating again next year. Well, I want to participate next year as long as life allows that. I'm very interested to see how this readathon evolves. It was interesting to see what other people were reading for specific prompts, and it was very creative. The mystery of it was really fun. You know, you just didn't know from day to day what to expect, which was really fun, and really what pulled me in going into it. This sounds really interesting. It was like, this is interesting. However, I have no fucking idea how this works. And I think my TBR, if I do this next year, my TBR will definitely be a little bit different because I was like, oh, really excited to read these books that I picked. However, knowing how, if it still works the same way, it's like, maybe I will not get to those books, you know? So maybe I'll have to pick books that, I just don't even know. But anyway, so that really kind of wraps it up. How my team did, the end of the readathon, how I feel about it, all that good stuff. So thank you for watching these vlogs. I am like really terrible usually at doing these. I don't do these often, and for me to have done this for a whole month, honestly, I'm very impressed with myself. It's not is unlike me typically, so thank you so much for watching again. But that's it, I think. So thank you once again. I will see you in my next video.